Lemons it's racing for normal people.
I'm glad that organizations like Lemons exist because it gives everybody an opportunity to do this if they want to.
$500 crap can racing. You pretty much buy a car for $500 or close to $500 as you can, put a bunch of safety equipment in it and go run it and go have fun. It's not a serious type of racing. Don't take it ever seriously.
It's about having fun with folks and trying to push something to the limit, but not the finances, trying not to break the bank.
Peter and I started doing all sorts of adventures, and we wanted to have more of a team sport, team atmosphere, and that's how we landed in Lemons. When we literally saw it as an ad in a magazine. Like, oh, $500 race cars, that's cheap, right?
Just trying to keep the car running, the different obstacles, the costumes, and then you can bribe judges and get lighter penalties.
We're Rogue Squadron where you dress up as Star Wars characters. That's part of our gimmick. And every team, you're supposed to have some sort of a gimmick. It makes it more fun. Just like we've had Ninja Turtles, we have the Nacho Friends guys that are dressed up in Nacho's cheese. We have all the Rotary guys that run RX-7s. They have fun. They bring all the different types of Doritos. Every team is different.
There's no money prize for the fastest car. The only money prize is for the costumes.
Lemons adds a bit of tongue-in-cheek. They encourage people to dress up in costumes. They encourage cars to have a theme. They encourage to take unique and individual cars that most people would never race or never see on a racetrack. And they really encourage and foster the spirit of racing no matter what you bring.
The goal of the race here is we have 2 9-hour days. Whoever can get the most laps in those 2 days wins.
The car has built up a patina, I'll say, of signatures and dents and scrub marks and history. So it's hard for me to say, let's paint it over and do something else, because you kind of lose a bit of why we do it, which is the fun, the camaraderie, the history, the friends, and the memories we make.
Anyone who drives the car gets to sign the car. If anyone hits the car, they get to sign the car. Definitely has a lot of artwork on the side of our car.
Everybody's got a different idea what they can make go fast, and it's just fun to see what people come up with.
Why you upset like Cinderella teens? You should see the things I finish inside these denim jeans. I can't associate with y'all this shit like ketamine. Been on 1, been on 2, been on everything. Bitch, I'm with my gang, with my squad. What the fuck you want? So be rolling gas, I can't hang. Bitch, I'm fucking gone. I got people down from the jump, better know your bonds. I got people just tuning in, and the love is strong. Damn, they gon' want a piece when you got it like that. Like Jake said, we gon' spend it, get it right back. Stack that internet money to the site crash. They on IG tryna get a light back. See, they don't talk that talk, they just type fast. Yeah, we real life, cool, it's really like that. I might roll an 8th inside a blunt, that's a nightcap. Like where my lighter at, boy, I got a flight to catch.
How dare you date my daughter? I don't care if you felt the force.
We have 3 classes here, Class C, B, and A. Class C is the slower cars. Then there's Class B cars, which are in the middle. Class A cars are supposed to be the fast cars, or the more of a threat cars.
That's confidence inspiring. She's alive. That is screeches. Oh, that's special.
Eagles. All 7 of them.
Unlike normal racing, the Lemons cow has its own little twist on it, and one of the things that you can do in Lemons is bribe the judges.
You present a present to the judges to help make your case. They separate cars into different classes depending on speed and the skill of the drivers. So if you say, if you're kind of a faster car, but your drivers are not as skilled and you want to bump down a class, bribing helps that.
This year we brought pickled eggs.
Welcome to A class now.
We've
Really?
lost in C class
We
here.
have never won
We've
here.
lost in-
We have a bribe.
Have you guys lost in A class?
These
Pickled
are
eggs.
These are tauntaun testicles.
They're gonna smell really fucking bad, aren't they?
How about this? Can we offer you a Yoda Pez dispenser as a
Yoda
bribe?
Pez.
Found it at the Ace Hardware today while we were finding other bolts.
This is not the car you're looking for.
Yeah, it is. You are going in A. With this field, I want you guys to go out there and just fucking walk away with it.
Did we tell them we didn't have any second gear?
No. So would it matter if our second gear wasn't there?
No, you don't need it. Here, you need 3-4, 3-4. That's, if you're not telling your team to stay in 3rd and 4th gear, you're doing something right.
When we got to the judges, they immediately looked at us and said, "You guys are A class." We even used the Jedi mind trick and Darth Vader trying to get them to change their minds, but they put us in A class and we were going to roll with it. We're going to drive the same and have a good time no matter which class we're in.
I was hoping that me wearing a Jar Jar Binks costume would let them know that, like, maybe one of us is not the strongest driver in the franchise.
This is my original car. It started out as a gray, very boring, we had the letters car here. It's a 84 Firebird with a inline 6 250 paired up with a TH400 transmission out of a truck. We're hopeful that it's reliable enough to stay out all weekend, which is really kind of the key to doing well in Lemons, is just being able to reliably keep turning over laps. We each put in 20 bucks, and at the end of the race, whoever had the fastest lap time wins the pool. I think 206.
Is it?
I think it was 206 at this track at one point.
I don't think I'll beat that in the rain.
We wanted to go with a Dungeons & Dragons theme. I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons since I was 6 years old. A 2002 Dodge Intrepid. We added the red headlights this time. There's an underglow kit that we didn't quite get the kinks worked out, and a fog machine for making a dragon breath. In the last race, we cooked our calipers and had to go out Saturday night and try to find whatever we could get. Unfortunately, no one ever made anything good for this car. The first time we came in, I think they thought we were going to be done by halfway through the first day, but you know, when we made it at the end, it was pretty good. We won Judge's Choice Award. That is the not expected to make it award, but we somehow did.
A class is fun, but as you can see, this competition's stiff. There's almost what looks like to be a brand new BMW E90 on the other side of the garage. That thing looks really fast. We got a bunch of Subarus out here, so unless they have mechanical issues the next day, they're going to be hard to put up a challenge to.
Then there's the one that's parked, well, not that one, but it has, it's like from A Christmas Story with the tree on top. It's an old car. Yeah, something we go around.
We have the Windows 98 car. It's a Fiat X19 from 1984. Originally we were gonna do like a vaporwave kind of like nostalgia theme, and then we got basically as far as we did. Now we're in the second drivetrain, and I just found chunks of bearing in the oil. So we're gonna see how far we make it this weekend. We made like some homebrew coilovers out of a Honda Civic lowering kit. It was like 50 bucks and upgraded the brakes. They're from a Fiat 500. Our second race, when we were like fiddling with the car the entire weekend and the clutch kept not engaging, so you'd have to push the pedal like farther and farther, and then eventually it wouldn't engage anymore. I realized the engine had detached itself from the transmission, so that's why the clutch had to push farther and farther.
...1988 MR2 Toyota. This will be the car's 14th or 15th race, but this one is just the simplest of all of them. It's only got one engine. 2 of our cars were twin engine race cars. Easy to maintain. We keep everything pretty much bone stock. I did roll a car once, but the safety equipment was very effective, so it wasn't really that scary. I've seen some of the nastier crashes. There was a car that stalled out in the middle of the track and a bunch of cars ignored the yellow flags and somebody rammed right into the back end of it. Those are scary. Just kind of give you a wake-up call. Take it seriously, take the safety seriously, take the flagging seriously.
They'll stop for something spilled on the track. They'll stop for, like one of the cars, the Pirates, great costume. They decorated the car and everything, but then the pirate ship on the car like blew apart in the first lap.
When you're doing a driver change, when I get out of the car, there's high expectation to try to get the car fueled up first, obviously, and then after it's fueled up, get the next driver in, which happened to be John. John, being the build that he is, offered a little bit more of a challenge. I don't have particularly strong hands, so I actually had Peter Ron help seat John in, but I tried to loosen up the belts the best that I could so that John wouldn't have to do as much when he got in the car.
Every time I come out here, I try to link together a few more corners. I try to get better at certain sections and hit marks. I would say I'm less of a proactive driver, more of a reactionary driver. You're reacting to what's ahead of you and you're planning ahead, whereas in a race car, you're trying to be more proactive and putting your car on your marks for every single turn, hitting your braking points, hitting your acceleration points, hitting your turn-in points, So for me, I like circuit racing because it allows me a time when I have to focus on doing something the same way every single lap.
My black flag today wasn't necessary for mistakes I've made in the past. I'd like to think that I've learned from those mistakes. But the one thing that I didn't know how to do, now I kind of do because I got some experience, is driving on a wet track. It wasn't raining necessarily this morning, but it was extremely wet. And essentially I got really confident behind the wheel up until I pushed it past the car past its limits. And I went into turn one as if the track was completely dry. I just had a moment where my concentration lapsed, wasn't thinking properly. The car immediately started hydroplaning and I could not recover from there. So it was off the track I went. Officials were very nice because nobody had to actually point a flag at me. I came in on my own. Sean, big guy, Big Lemon's official, leaned over, he said, "What happened?" Explained it to him, looked at him with my sad puppy dog eyes, like, "Please don't punish me, I'm sorry, it won't happen again."
It looked to me like he got to the end of the straightaway and just ran out of talent. That pretty much sums it up, because that's usually what happens when you go off the track, at least in my experience.
Thanks a lot.
At the end of every day, or especially at the end of Saturday, we go over what the tires look like, make sure if we have to move tires or change tires. So what we do is we pull the tires off, we always check them, see if we have to groove them around, because sometimes we'll do front to back, or we'll just put a brand new set on. Like yesterday, we took the fronts off, moved them to the back, and put two fronts on, brand new fronts on. And then we were also checking brake pads, make sure the brake pads were not getting low, that we had to change them. The judge came to us last night and watching the times, watching everybody else's times, kind of comparing the two, the top A-class car and where we're at, he noticed that we are very far behind. We're about 10 seconds or so behind the fastest guy. And with that much gap, there's no possible way of catching them.
I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to come over to you guys, let you know I apologize. I put you in the wrong class. That was, I had data, I looked at the data, I made my decision based on that. I look at the data from today, and I look at some more historical data. I really, like I said, your stint times, your lap times, that kind of stuff, you really belong in B, and I am going to do everything that I can to share notes with the other judges, let them know that these guys belong in B, and we're going to do our best to put you back there.
Awesome.
But cheers. Thank you.
But the important part about our wit, how funny we are.
Oh, they're funny as hell.
Yeah, there you go. That's the important part. See, Mom, I told you.
car went off and two fast cars went off.
Car 110 was just making the corner a little bit slippery, lost traction, locked up the brakes and slided broadside into the fence.
So it was actually a pretty high-speed accident, and he hit the wall. He did a full 360 and hit the car into the barrier. We buckled back into the car, and then we had about 5 minutes before we could restart our engines and kind of get our head in the game. I'm behind the steering wheel of a race car. I'm going to go out and I'm going to drive aggressively but safely. And it didn't hurt me. I'd say it actually kind of gave me a minute to regroup.
Car does pretty well in the rain, but we all dial it back in the rain. So you end up battling with yourself more than other cars, because there's not a whole lot of cars out there today. There's only 40 some odd cars.
So our car, it's a front wheel drive car, and power application to the ground is with a front wheel drive car in a slick conditions or variable conditions, I'll say, is less risky in the fact that in a rear wheel drive car, if you lose traction, you'll have a tendency to rotate. Whereas our car, if you lose traction, you're just gonna spin the wheels a little bit.
Brakes, came around slow, came out of the pits, was smoking coming around. So I was in the hot pit, ran this way. He turned the corner and I saw it flare. So it lit, and then as he started to pull into the garage, it went boom. And that's when I started screaming fire, and people started running with fire extinguishers. I think we were tied for first. We were battling it out with the Nacho friends, and we were anywhere between the same lap and one lap back from them. We had dropped a couple places when I had brake issues this morning. Scott and Owen brought us back, and now we're definitely not in first anymore.
Your Class A winner, which is weird to say, number 39, the Otaku Racing Civic! Class B winner, number 61, IWGF from the Pros! Maker of a happy belly for me and me and all of our staff. 664, not your friend. By the way, this has been an extremely long road for these guys. This car is a hoopty. It's always been a hoopty. It'll probably continue to be a hoopty, but they did the thing!
We ended up
second in A class. And if we had been in B class, we would have also been second because the B class car was the fastest. And then we lost to the Honda Civic with the Honda Civic boys who were fast and nice.
So we're like, oh crap, we gotta make this like a good
So you guys were doing slower laps because we were the last little bit, like, we need like another hour.